Hey everybody, Andy Waddell with Form Films and welcome to Grade in 10. So today I'm going to show you my process to grade a really cool shot from an interactive experience we created a while back. We have a real kitchen with fake sunshine and a real master chef, so let's get started. All right, this is our shot. As you can see, the talent is standing in this real kitchen with a fake sunshine coming in on frame left. That is a boxed in fixture outside a window coming through the real blinds on the kitchen window. And everything else is kind of dialed in to look like a warm, sunny afternoon. So let's flip our color space to color managed and get the party started. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. Here we go. First up, denoising. Just putting a touch of denoise to take out denoise. See what I did there? Dad joke. That was pretty terrible, but I'll probably use it all the time now. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. All right, diving in on exposure. What I want to do is just bring it up a little bit. It's not far off. I don't want to clip too much on this top left part of the scopes that I'm seeing, which is going to be this area right over in here. But I want to bring it up just enough to create the beginnings of a warm afternoon, sunny day. Now I'm going to pull my shadows down a little bit till my green in his apron right here. That's what this is. I'm going to let it just almost touch zero. And then we're going to bring red and blue down in a minute to match. Okay, let's hit our primaries. And I'm just going to pull some of this like classic red Gemini 5K, reddy greeny look. I just want to pull some of that out with my offset wheel. So I'm just going to very gently massage it over just to clean up the image a touch without going too far. I'm watching the scopes and I'm watching my Flanders and I'm watching to see if I can get some of these elements to match up. Okay, I think it's a good starting point. I like that. Let's audition it off. On. Yeah, okay, it's a little too blue. I definitely recommend auditioning off and on a lot, back and forth, when you're trying to figure out, the eye can be tricked so easily. Okay, let's go with that for now. So, adjustments. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to bring, like I said a minute ago, these shadows into submission. Then we're going to go back later and punch the blue up on his apron again, but I want to get my shadows pretty even and then ultimately really desaturate it. So cool. Okay, I'm going to make a parallel here. I'm going to hit his skin tone and the apron. I'm not worried about his shirt. So his shirt is pure white. These cabinets are like an eggshell. They're going to naturally separate anyway, but I know if I try to start grabbing his shirt and isolating it, I'm going to grab this elements of this tile behind him. And I don't feel like fighting that. I don't think it's worth it. Not for a grade in 10 when I'm just trying to get a good look to show the client. It doesn't have to be perfect yet, but I want it to be representative of where we're headed. All right, let's work on the skin. Got some rosy red cheeks. Yeah, see, even that's grabbing a lot of the tile. I can kind of crush it out there. Okay, I always forget that's like a beard. I'm like, why is it not grabbing his cheek? Oh, it's a beard. That's good. Okay, I don't want it to grab that. Okay, let's work with that for a second. So gonna drop color compressor on this to tighten up the hues so that I can kind of get rid of the rosy red cheeks and bring his skin tone more to something like that. Not gonna kill all of the dynamics of the hues, but I want to at least tame it a little bit. Okay, so if I go off and then on, you can see a little bit of change. Check it against the vector scope. Okay, I'm right on the skin tone line. I might just push him with the offset wheel just a touch more toward the warm. It's probably going to be too much. Yeah, it's a little too much. But look at his arms when I audition this. So this is off. His arms are kind of bland. No offense. That's just the way the camera captured it. Not talking about your arm, chef. And then if I kick it on, you can just see like a little bit of a pinky warmth come in. Same with his face. Still got the rosy red cheeks. There's off. And right here, he's really just picking up a lot of the bland bounce off of this door and this eggshell. And so by kicking it on, I'm just putting a little warmth in there. The other thing I'm going to do is just brighten his face a little. That'll pull our eye to him. So I'm just going to come over here, grab this, and just lift him up just a little bit. Kind of let's see. I like to audition at a few different places and see where I feel like it's doing what I want. It's just subtle. Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Let's tackle this apron real quick. For fun, I really want this apron to pop. Let me see if I can get rid of this stove. Tell you what, I'll mask that. Okay, let's mask it. So in this interactive experience, he never moves from this place. He's kind of like a video game NPC, and so he's just leading you through choices. And then later we see him cooking, but it's not from this angle. So you can easily mask this out to clean it up. Okay, now so what we could do, we could just say we're going to desat this thing and make it basically black, but instead I want to go the other direction, and I want to actually push some blue up into there and bring it back to a subtle blue. Something like that. That's kind of fun. So auditioning off and on. So we'll let that pop. That's cool. Okay. I want to next drop a note at the end for sharpen. I'm going to go ahead and pull this down a little bit, like 0.46. Pop. There we go. Maybe 0.47. I don't want to create artifacts. I just want it to look pretty. All right, let me think for a second. What do I want to do next? Let me see what I can do with these cabinets. I think I'm going to end up just grabbing everything. It might get really, really messy. Let's see. Yeah, no, okay. It's actually not bad. Thought process is if I could desaturate these a little bit, I might. Let's play with it. Let's just pull it down to 20%. Well, it actually worked pretty well. Let's don't go that far, but I like that. It cleans it up a little bit, and we'll expose it up a little bit too. We'll just put a touch of love on the exposure. Okay. What do I call it? Cabinets. Auditioning off and on. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of nice. Okay. Next up, I totally forgot what I was going to do. Oh, let's play with some sunshine. I'm going to experiment for a second. I'm going to put aperture diffusion on here. I'm going to widen it out. And we're going to mask it. Soften the snot out of that. Okay, and then turn to full, and then we're gonna just drop it way back. Leave it white, drop it way back. Okay, I'm gonna bring it in just a little bit. Okay, yeah, about 0.35, somewhere in there. Okay, so it's nice. If I kill this, pop, on, off, on, this creates a little bit of a glow back here. I love what it does on these tiles. Like, look at that. It's like a little bit dull, boom. And then I like letting it lap over his shoulder and a little bit onto his shirt because it just tells me that he's part of that environment. I don't want it to overwhelm the shirt. I just want a little bit. So yeah, let's go with that. Okay, next up, I'm gonna drop the infamous lab node. I always like to audition this to see if I can tighten up my low end anymore. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So let's drop this shadows down, see what happens. Okay, that's interesting. That's like -20. Okay, let's go about -4. Okay, I'm gonna audition this off, on. Oh, I like how that tightens it up. So even with all we've done, there's still a little bit of just kind of an orangey haze over everything, especially in these cabinets up here. So if I kick this on, you can see it pull that out a little bit. It also really pops his face because it's not affecting his face because the tones in his face are not affected by the shadow. So it's really making his face pop when I kick that. In fact, I'm going to pull a little bit of sat off of his face just so he doesn't feel artificial or like he's got orange makeup on. Okay, before lab, I'm gonna do one last, well, let's see, maybe two last things. I'm gonna call this blacks. What I wanna do is just grab anything back here that is like metallic or dark black plastic. Like that stuff. Let's see what happens if I... Nope, I can't do that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's because I grabbed... Dummy. I didn't catch that. I grabbed part of the cabinetry. There you go. Just that darkest of dark stuff. That stuff right there. And then I'm just going to drop that to about 35. Okay. It's subtle, but it takes a little bit of color out of those elements that I just want to be free of tone. All right, let's, man, this is feeling pretty good. I could go in and I could, dial in these carrots and broccoli and really just pop all this stuff a little bit, but I really kind of like the way it feels. It's filling the scopes nice. Feels like, it feels like his skin tone is right where it needs to be if I solo this out. Yeah. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Let's walk it through and see if we got ourselves a winner. All right, so denoising for anything in the low shadows, very little. Exposure, just popping it up just a little bit to get us in the neighborhood. Primaries to pull everything back from a kind of yellowy, green, orange tint coming off the camera. And I think I probably pulled it a little bit too far, but we made up for it later. Adjustments, there we go. Got those blues right here out of the shadows. The reds, I've got my shadows on where the apron is aligning, and it's also reflected here in the dark black there. It's pretty darn neutral. Then we're going to hit his skin. We're going to hit his apron. They merge together there. We're going to hit these cabinets and pull a little bit of saturation out of them to make them a little less green eggshell and a little more gray white eggshell. And then we also boosted the exposure on them just a touch. Okay, we added our sunshine. Oh, little soft glow coming over here. Again, really digging that. Blacks, very subtle. Probably don't really need it, but I know on other shots where we're seeing close-ups of the stove or this pressure cooker, we definitely wanted it. So I'll leave it. All right, lab, just pulling a little bit of the hotter tones out of my shadows, and then finally sharpening the image. So it feels pretty good. All right, hey, I'm happy with that. Hope you're happy with it. Thank you for joining. Please give us likes, follows, subscribes, hit all the bells and buttons, and twist all the dials and knobs and flip those switches. And we'll see you next time on Great in 10. Peace out.